Thank you, Ed. I'm very honored to be with you this evening to introduce your commencement speaker, Dr. Eric Clements. Dr. Clements is a professor of history in the Department of History and Anthropology. He earned a Bachelor of Arts in History from Colorado State University, a Master's of Art in History with Museum Certification from the University of Delaware, and a doctorate in the History of Modern America and the American West from Arizona State University. He became a faculty member at Southeast in 1999 and teaches general courses in American history as well as specialty courses on museums and material culture, the Progressive Era, the American West, and American foreign relations. From 1999 until 2007, Dr. Clements served as the Assistant Director of what is now known as the Rosemary Burkle and Harry L. Crisp II Museum. For 20 years, he has edited the Mining History Journal, the academic annual for the Mining History Association. In 2013, Dr. Clements was awarded its Distinguished Service Award for his extraordinary contributions to the association. I encourage you to read Dr. Clements' complete bio, which is included in your program. We're delighted that Dr. Clements is here this evening as our commencement speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Dr. Eric Clements.
Thank you, sir. Members of the board, President Vargas, families and friends, most especially the graduating class of 2021. Congratulations. Well done. The end of the beginning. First, permit me to say that no one on this campus is more astonished to find me your commencement speaker than I am, but that said, here we are and forward we go. I may be of some small utility. I've attended about 30 commencements in my life now, professionally and personally, and I think there's a design flaw in commencement speaking. Under normal circumstances, they bring in some astronaut or senator to tell you how great life is. But I've often wondered, wouldn't a graduating class be better served by having some ordinary old person come in and say a few things about leading a life? We're about to find out. So, how to proceed from the end of the beginning. A graduate school buddy of mine, the great Dave Gretler, once said, you don't just make a living, you make a life. That's a key point. And of course, you make the life, it depends significantly upon the choices that you make. One of the choices that I made as an undergraduate was to take both halves of the economics survey, the macro and the micro. Mostly I remember economics now as jousting with jargon. But amidst the dross, there included a diamond of exceptional brilliance, a life-altering concept, opportunity cost. Opportunity cost, the economists say, is the same money invested in A cannot therefore be invested in B. And your initial reaction to that is, well, duh. But they have a larger point, which is, of course, that there's an opportunity lost in not being able to invest in B. Well, welcome to life. Dismiss immediately from your minds the notion that you can have it all. That's advertising tablet designed to sell beer. Everybody in life has to make choices. You want to be married, you can't be single. You want to be single, you can't be married. And there's advantages, of course. So opportunities are foreclosed by the decisions you make, but also, the fun bit, the exciting part of life, opportunities are open. They're opened out exponentially by the decisions you make. So how do you make the decisions that make your life? Well, first of all, who are you? Right? Know yourself. It's the first. And of course, that's somewhat in development, isn't it? Because you're at an age, sort of 15 to 30 is that age slot where you're trying to figure out who you are and what your talents are and where your interests lie and so forth and so on. But you know some of this already. Introverted or extroverted, there's an obvious. If you're an extrovert, are you really going to want to spend your career entering figures and ledgers? If you're an introvert, are you really going to want to spend your career making sales calls? Know yourself, play to your strengths. There's some of this, of course, that you may not know because you haven't had the chance to have the experiences yet. Big city or small town type. I like Cape Girardeau. I grew up in a town about this size, and it works for me. It has everything I need and most of what I want. Cool. But I know people that wouldn't care to live in a town the size of Cape Girardeau. My brother Owen's defense of San Francisco is that you can get Thai food at 4 in the morning. He's right. The whole cultural smorgasbord is laid out for you in a big city like San Francisco. Up 24/7. As it happens, I don't often need Thai food at 4 in the morning, so I'm willing to cede that point to get some things I want. It gets quiet around here at 4 in the morning. I like that. I'll trade Thai food to get peace and quiet. But it is an opportunity cost, isn't it? When making your choices, be bold sometimes. The painter Pierre-Auguste Renoir once said, one must from time to time attempt things that are beyond one's capacity. I think he's right. I think you owe it to yourself as a human to try some things to grow and to experience rather than to succeed necessarily. Travel much. Try the new foods. I don't know, give a commencement speech. What could go wrong? Keep learning. Any commencement speaker would tell you that, and any commencement speaker would be correct. Few of the details of what you learned here are going to survive a 40-plus career. But the most important thing that you learned here is how to learn. That, of course, is the greatest value of an education, particularly of an education in the humanities and the social sciences. The open-endedness of humanities and social science degrees can be a little disconcerting, I realize, here at the end of the beginning, compared to a degree that you could have taken that would have conveyed specific technical knowledge and skills that you then apply to one specific job for the rest of your career. And those skills are important, but so are yours. From a background in the humanities and the social sciences, you can move in multiple directions, like the queen on a chessboard. That isn't a weakness, that's a strength, a significant one. From these foundations, there's little that you cannot achieve. Don't believe me? All right. Who's running the country? Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, dual major, history and political science, minored in English. The Vice President of the United States, political science and economics. Senate Majority Leader, social studies. Senate Minority Leader, political science. Speaker of the House of Representatives, political science. House Minority Leader, marketing. Well, there's always one exception. Historians, we constitute a majority on the United States Supreme Court. 5 of the justices got their undergraduate major in history. 1 a dual history and political science major. Of the remaining 4 justices, 2 English literature, 1 philosophy, 1 political science. That's us, folks. Why so? Well, because a degree in humanities and social sciences trains one to the collective processes of assessment and analysis argument and develops in one an appreciation of life's complexities and subtleties. These skills will be exceedingly useful not only to your employer, but to you as a person and as a citizen. That's not my idea, of course. In 1749, Benjamin Franklin, one of the founders of the University of Pennsylvania, arguing for the founding of the University of Pennsylvania, said a good education was, quote, the surest foundation of the happiness both of private families and of commonwealths. I would argue that in tumultuous times such as ours, your skills in dispassionate discourse become more important than ever because they allow you to equip you to better confront life's complexity, life's complications, which is good because life isn't linear. We'd like it to be. We plan it that way, right? Here we are at the end of the beginning, and that's the career I want. Looks like a straight line, and off you go. But as you probably noticed last year, life has starts and stops, and twists and turns. We're not really in control of the vehicle completely, as it happens. I learned this lesson at your age through acquaintance with a young woman named Ella. Call her that anyway. I didn't know Ella well. She was just an acquaintance, but I knew her well enough to discern that she was enthusiastically detail-oriented, put it that way. Particularly so when it came to planning her own wedding, which, being enthusiastically detail-oriented, she laid out like the invasion of France. Bridesmaids come ashore at 06:30, groomsmen land with the medical supplies at 07:45, and heaven help whoever's in charge if the groomsmen don't reach the beach till 0800, right? This wedding was scheduled to be held in a little white church in my hometown, directly across the street from Folsom Field, which is the stadium where the University of Colorado Buffaloes play their Saturday home games. But she'd allowed for that, of course. This was a Saturday in June, and the University of Colorado Buffaloes would not be playing at Folsom. Okay? Van Halen, on the other hand, would be. A fine rock and roll band, to be sure, but being a Van Halen, it usually operated north of 100 decibels, thereby badly disrupting the invasion of France occurring at the Little White Church Street. This was a valuable life lesson to me. You plan, you schedule, you arrange, you organize, you control. Then Van Halen shows up, and the best laid schemes, O brides and men, leaveth the rails and wind up in the ditch. So, do your planning and due diligence, of course, but do so with a clear understanding that life's Van Halen, good and bad, will be coming to a stadium near you. And finally, yay, the secret of life. You're old enough. You've paid all that money. You're entitled to know. I had a nephew. His name was Julian Clement Chase. He was a sergeant in the United States Marine Corps. He was killed in Afghanistan on Memorial Day in 2012. Before they send you over to Afghanistan, you have to fill out all that Pentagon paperwork, and one of the forms deals with the disposition of you, if it should come to that. And there's a slot on the form where you can write what you'd like on your tombstone. Last words, if you got them. What do you think he wrote in the slot? It's on his tombstone at Arlington. Be kind. That's it. That's the secret of life. He was 20 years old. He bagged the secret of life in 2 words. Took his idiot uncle 50 years to figure that out. Self-evidently, he would have been a much better commencement speaker than I was, and I'm sorry that you missed it. Again, congratulations. Enjoy your careers. Enjoy your lives. Enjoy, insofar as you are able, the Van Halen. And be kind. Thank you.